Episode 6 of Andor, called The Eye, came out earlier today, and yeah, I want to talk about it. So before we get into it, let's just say, look, this isn't going to be like a play-by-play. This is going to be just me talking about the things that really stuck out to me in the episode, but there will be some spoilers in there. So if you haven't seen the episode and you want to, you might want to turn this review off now because, yeah, we're about to talk about all the things. One of the first things that we get to see and experience in this episode, which is something we've never really seen before, are family members of an Imperial officer, which is it may seem like a little thing, like it doesn't really matter, but that's one of those things where it humanizes the villains in a way that I never really expected. Um, I don't know. It's weird to think about these guys that we've always looked at as the absolute bad guys. There's nothing good about them, whatever. To see them that they have a life outside of the Empire, and this Imperial officer has a wife and a child, and they talk like a family, and it's an interesting thing, and this humanization of the Imperial officers. I think that's amazing. And then on top of that, just as we're kind of like getting used to that idea, oh yeah, this is kind of interesting. Yeah, let's just take them hostage. That our heroes are taking this woman and her child hostage. This is something we really haven't seen before. It's a segment of the heroes we haven't seen before. I just think that's really really cool. This is furthered along, I mean, throughout the episode. This idea of mercenaries versus, you know, I don't know, freedom fighters, whatever you want to say. That using mercenaries is something it's a part of it. It's just, this is how things are going to get done. Is you're going to have to pay somebody to fight on your side. And so Nemec having this conversation with Cassian was really interesting, just because it's like, wow, again, conversations we'd never thought that we'd get in a Star Wars episode. When the Donnie are coming to this area to view the eye, and it's sort of, I don't know, it's almost like a gift exchange, which is, it's like, here's this thing and you give me the exact thing in return. So I hope you enjoy the thing that you just gave me, but it's the one that I gave you instead of the one that you gave me. But then, you get to see them and the way that they're viewing the eye throughout the episode. And it's one of those things where I'm not exactly sure why they kept cutting to them, because all we were looking at are their view of the eye. And maybe it's one of those deep things that I'm just not getting on first viewing, but it was interesting. I'll say that. But I like the fact that we're getting these viewpoints that we normally wouldn't get. There was a suspense and a tension all the way through this episode, and it was really kind of fun to watch that just sort of grow. These little like conversations that are happening, but all the while that things are going down behind all this stuff, and it was just really good. It was really well done, the way that tension kept building. But then when the action starts going down, I mean, we lose crew members immediately. Gorn goes down, Terriman goes down, and then Nemec gets hurt on the way out. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't believe that it's come down to this so quickly. It just felt like I didn't know that the whole crew pretty much was going to go down in this episode. It was like, wow. The escape, and Nemec helping, even though he's been hurt, this whole escape through the eye, I'm assuming it's comet pieces coming into the atmosphere or just asteroids, and it's the atmosphere that's giving him those colors. Whatever it is, it's awesome looking. The TIE fighters are amazing when they get launched. They just look awesome. And then this whole sequence going through this storm and Nemec guiding, it was really, really cool and very, very well done. This conversation, when everything's kind of said and done, they've taken Nemec to this doctor, this creepy four-armed doctor that was like, wow, that was really strange and cool that they added this character that really could have been anybody. It could have just been a regular guy. But no, Let's do something interesting. Let's do something different. I like that. But there's this conversation between Skeen and Andor talking about, hey, we could just leave right now and split the money and all this stuff, and that, I'm not on anybody's side. I'm just gonna, this money is gonna afford me to live without that care. And Andor shoots him, and it's like, okay, this is even through the so-called freedom fighters, we've got this guy who's willing to give all that up because of a little money, and it's cool to see that difference in Cassian's character. That he's not that guy. Nemec doesn't survive. This was kind of telegraphed a little bit. I mean, I think most people saw that the groundwork was being laid for his character making an exit. I thought he was just going to be, like, paralyzed or something. But Cassian ends up with his manifesto, which is going to be one of those things that's probably going to shape his character moving forward, and I think that's really cool. We get these couple of scenes of basically how this whole episode has reverberations throughout the galaxy. We've got Mon Mothma making a speech in the Senate, and nobody's listening, and they're just kind of whatever, and some of them are leaving in the middle of her speech or whatever, and then she picks up, I'm assuming, like a data pad, and she sees, oh, so the thing happened, right? And then we see Luthen back in his shop, hearing the news and being very, very excited about it. I mean, I assume that he doesn't know, who survived or whatever. I don't know if that's the thing. We don't really know about his character. Does that even register in his mind as, oh, these incredible losses, to get this thing done or whatever? And then the other thing too is that we see, and this is something that I didn't really consider until I saw something on Reddit, somebody talking about that the character that's left behind to look over the hostages, you just see her leaving. You don't see what happens to the hostages. It's kind of like, I wonder what happened there. Did she end up killing them? Did she let them go? We don't know. And that's, again, it's this thing where this rebellion that we've, for however many years, have always looked at as the good guys, seeing them as people that have to make some tough decisions. I mean, that's a pretty adult way of looking at things, especially in this era of Star Wars that we've found ourselves in. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I feel like Andor is the most adult or the most mature Star Wars thing that we've gotten, maybe ever, like in a movie or a TV show. It is, and I'm not saying anything like, it's got incredible violence or nudity or anything, sex or anything like that. No, we're talking about a show that doesn't spoon feed you and doesn't tell you what to think. But it's like you take the Star Wars out of the story and it's still a story worth being told. I think that's interesting. It's not like just a vehicle for nostalgia. It's an actual story that somebody wants to tell. And I'm here for it. So, Andor the Eye, episode 6. What did you think of it? Like, are you on the same wavelength as me? You're really enjoying this, or you're thinking, it's too slow. It's not fun. It's just kind of, it's so serious and kind of dour. I don't know. I'm curious what other people are thinking about this. Let me know down below and we will talk about it. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.